I often get news articles about this ongoing war that exists between cyclists and drivers, and who's right and who's wrong, and where the middle ground lies. Well, I got sent an interesting article about some stuff that's going on with taxi drivers and cyclists, and I wanted to tell you about it and ask your opinion, see what you think. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're on Bank Holiday Monday, isn't it? Yes, we're at the start of another week. I hope you've had a great Easter weekend and had family round, had a decent bit of food or whatever it is you do. Let me know in the comments below what you've been up to, and the weekend was great. We had my mother-in-law round. We had a nice roast chicken dinner, thankfully. Very nice thing, cooked by Mrs. Cabby. You saw a picture in the community page, what she gets up to, especially when she does a decent fry-up. Looks a lot better than mine. Well, let's get back to work, shall we? We have this thing, don't we, where cyclists and motor vehicle users keep trying to outdo each other, and there's a bit of jousting going on. Well, I was sent this article the other day from the Taxi Point magazine, which is a regular news thing for taxi drivers, and it was titled "Taxi Drivers Warned of Sneaky Cyclist Tactics to Capture Cabbies Using Phones in Clogged Traffic." Now, when you go into the cities like London, for example, maybe even Birmingham, you've got cycle lanes all over the place. We know that they're trying to promote cleaner uses of getting around, cycling, walking, and so on and so forth, and making it as difficult as possible for the car drivers. Well, when you're out on the road, cyclists have dash cams in the helmet, on the front, on the rear, exactly the same. I mean, Retro on his bikes, he's one that's put cycling videos out, and he's got cameras mounted on parts of his bike. Maybe he can say where they are and, you know, is it on the back wheel or whatever, and what kind of coverage it gives you. But what apparently is happening, cyclists are using the camera footage to grass up car drivers. Now, in this particular case, one of the things happened, a taxi driver ended up rolling into a box junction where basically you don't stop, do you? Rule of the world. And the reason was he was using his mobile phone in, you know, steady stroke still traffic, got distracted, rolled forward. And of course, what happened, there was a cyclist there with on his head, and sent that footage into the old bill, and this taxi driver ended up with 6 points on his licence and a fine. And there's talk of cyclists in and around the cities making small talk with car drivers in traffic, minding their own business. Next thing you know, they're getting a fine. One particular person this ended up happening to, and when he phoned up to deal with it, he said, probably a cyclist or a passing pedestrian caught you doing something you shouldn't have been doing. On footage, you got fined. So there is an awful lot of people about doing this. So mobile phones should not be used in the car while you're driving, while that engine is on and while you're moving. And you see all these apps like dash cam apps and all that sort of thing, shouldn't be used. I think sat navs are okay. I might be wrong, but for God's sake, program it before you drive off. Who's in the wrong here? Should the cyclist mind their own bloody business and let the police do it? Or is the driver in the wrong? You know, mobile phone use maybe, but is someone playing private detective a little bit more than they should be? You let me know. In my opinion, there should be regular patrols on the streets, regular police cars that should be doing a damn job anyway, and there isn't because of cutbacks, incompetence, and God knows what else. But there you have it, folks. This is what we have in this surveillance society we live in. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll leave a link in the description where you can read all about it. See you with another one shortly. Doodle.